Till in 2021, a man at a convenience store in Pennsylvania placed $2 on the counter for a Mountain Dew that was priced at 2 for $3, and walked out. The price for one Mountain Dew, however, was $2.29. The man was charged with a felony, sent to jail on a $50,000 bond, and faced up to 7 years in prison. Police and judges in Central PA are absolutely worthless. Do not talk to the cops, they aren't your friends, they are trying to arrest you. I know a young kid 14 years old who lit matches with his friends and started a small fire in a garage. His mom took him down to the police station to explain to the police what he did, thinking she was doing the right thing. They tried to arrest the kids involved with attempted manslaughter because the garage was attached to some apartments. If you think that is justice, then you're a sick autocrat. Calling the cops over 29 cents is wild. I'm a retail manager and I'll let people go for up to $1 or sometimes a bit over if it's convenient and I think they deserve some slack. For example, a woman came to buy a backpack for her son and handed me a $20 bill for a tag that said $19.99. However, after I scanned it there was a $1.60 tax, making it $21.59 instead. She did not have any more money. I just let her go. I count the money at night and I know my bosses aren't going to bother with any losses under $20. Why such a high penalty for shorting a store less than 50 cents? Sobolevsky was being charged under the state's 3 strikes law for retail theft, PIN Live reported. He was convicted more than a decade ago for pumping gas without paying. He also was arrested and sentenced for stealing shoes from a Kmart. The shoes cost $39.99. He paid $866 in fines and fees and was sentenced to 3 months in jail for a probation violation. Our legal system has some good core values, but otherwise damn bruh. Prosecutor dropped the charges, probably thought that sending the guy for life in prison for a 40-cent mistake was a bit excessive. The guy was just a dumbass, he didn't intend to steal. These reactions are classic Reddit. The man was already a convicted criminal, charged as such. The store clerk chased him outside to let him know he hadn't paid. He ignored her and knowingly drove off. The charges were later dropped. This is still dumb of the clerks, but he actually was let go and acted stupidly in the first place. Just a reminder that, under our capitalist system, someone who accidentally shortchanges a company that could never possibly feel the impact faces prison time for a fraction of a soda. And yet, those very same companies rob us blind every chance they get so their higher-ups and shareholders can add to their even more astronomical wealth. The penalty was obviously way too extreme, but I remember from days in hell working with customers there was always some asshole who insisted that anything that was 2 for X amount should be half for just 1. Explaining that A was a promotional price and B I had no control over it never mattered. They just wanted to be right. The guy was on his 4th offense. He drove off without paying for gas, stole a pair of shoes and attempted to steal craft supplies. These are probably just the times he got caught. Furthermore, the store employee ran after him and told him he didn't pay enough, and he just drove off. My conclusion is fuck him. It's missing some context. Sobolevsky was being charged under the state's 3 strikes law for retail theft, PIN Live reported. The charge was dropped a month later. All that for 29 cents or $1 like WTF the fact this happened and a judge was like, yeah, it confuses me. It's not like you can ask for it and he can pay it. If he couldn't, it's not a big deal for the owner. I'd personally have brushed it off even without knowing what has happened afterwards. Maybe it's a state level law, but I used to work in this retail space. My recollection was that if you priced something say 2 for $3 you had to sell one at $1.50. It's been a long time so my memory is a bit fuzzy on the details, and obviously it wasn't this way in this instance. 1. For everyone questioning if his skin color was a factor, he's white. 2. The PA State DA's office dropped the charges against him the next month. I'm sure public outcry plus the fact the DA was running for a state judge position on the November ballot of that year played a factor. Title leaves out that the clerk was following procedure, the cops just pursued an easy case. The guy fell on the 3 strikes rules, which is what made it a felony. This generated a lot of paperwork for everyone. The prosecutor threw it out as soon as it came to him. It's shitty, but having worked in a convenience store for 3 years while in college I know exactly the type of customer that does shit like that. Seeing one of those assholes get some kind of retribution for being such a prick is nice. Tax dollars hard at work there. How much did all of those court fees add up to? As someone who was a victim of life-altering crime and can't get a lawyer, Glad to see we are clamping down on heinous crimes. How are people even defending this? There was a video recently of a guy pinned to the floor by 2 cops at a Walmart because he stole a frozen pizza. While the receipt was on the floor the whole time, I am just grateful our government representatives don't do anything like insider trading or have a conflict of interest when leaving regulatory agencies to go work for banks and market makers. This is precisely how systemic racism works. These types of laws are extremely punishing to poor people, which tend to be minorities. If a few whites get caught up as well, so be it. Some extra context. It was his 3rd strike, so he had 2 prior convictions, probably Funyun and ho-ho related. The charges were dismissed. Still stupid and overkill, but he wasn't found guilty. How did a convenience store clerk manage to have the police come out, take a report, track this guy down and arrest him? Over a loss of less than $1? The guy's white. People, this kind of shit makes me distrust the law enforcement, the courts, police, judges, and the politicians that blindly support this delusional justice. Who knows what justice means? Caught the guy who stole my truck red-handed, filmed in 5 separate 4K cameras, 3 witnesses, got his license plate, his name, and place of employment, and police wouldn't even arrest him. Police said the clerk said she followed Sobolewski outside to tell him that he didn't pay the full price. He told her he did before driving away. Stupid as stupid does. This is why you need strong customer protection laws. In a place where customers are protected due to a $2-3 you have to sell one for $1.50. Well, he didn't pay full price for the drink. The employee at the cash register is now on the hook for that and could have been fired. 7 years for less than 30 cents? Meanwhile, we have a career criminal threatening a judge and a prosecutor and he walks free. The real issue here is the cops chasing after someone over 43 cents and also the store owner calling the cops in the first place. Man, if I had 3 strikes for retail theft, I wouldn't be playing it loosey-goosey flipping money on the counter and leaving. This seems like an appropriate place for a reminder that if you ever see someone shoplifting food, no you fucking didn't. So, what happened to this law when people are robbing Home Depot and outlet malls upwards towards $10,000 worth? He's facing 7 years because he's a multiple repeat offender. He's a chronic thief. Why are you boo-ooing over him? Oh good, now everyone can make wild unsubstantiated claims about petty theft. California and the justice system? Now tell us about the part where he stole candlesticks from a priest and gets caught. That's my favorite part. That's a story you hear in jail, and everyone is like, "Suitor, that's all you're here for. I'm innocent too." I just saw an article about a guy going to jail for 180 days for more than 1 instance of pedophilia. Just scrolled down from the article about the creep who got 6 months for raping little girls. WTF? If it's priced at 2 for $3, should one Mountain Dew be 1.50? Tax makes it go past $2. Confused. On the UK, it does not constitute a theft, as he truly believed the owner would take the payment. Meanwhile, you can rape children and get 180 days in jail. America is a fucking pile of garbage. It's the same thing as when Trump didn't pay his taxes 4 times and then he got life in prison. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's a horrific punishment for 29 cents. Ah, don't you love the US criminal system? It's not justice, but it sure pays the bills. If he was in San Francisco, he could have walked out with a whole case and faced no charges. He only spent 7 days in jail before his attorney managed to get the charges thrown out. There's no cure treatment for stupid. The government, not the Mountain Dew purchaser. Ignorance, if a defense at all, is rarely a good one. The issue is the punishment. It is almost like stealing is only a real crime if you are poor. Missed PR opportunity for Pepsi Cola to mount as legal defense. This is why juries exist. To judge the guilt as well as the law. If this shit happened in another country, Americas would invade. Damn, gotta be careful when you've committed 3 other thefts. So my taxes went to prosecuting someone for 29 cents. Nice. How is that not petty theft since it's less than 100? Store employee missed an opportunity for a $1 Mountain Dew.